On your screens, there are visuals of the Prime Minister meeting with the victims of the blast on Monday outside of the Red Fort. The Prime Minister, on arriving from Bhutan, headed straight to the LNJP hospital, where many of those who were injured in that blast are currently recovering. So there you can see the first visuals of those people, the Prime Minister meeting with them. He was there for a brief while where he spoke to many of them, met family members as well, and then has left from the LNJP hospital. The Prime Minister heading straight to LNJP after arriving from his 2-day state visit to Bhutan. He was in Bhutan over the last 2 days, and now immediately on arriving, heading straight to the LNJP, where he met with several of those who were injured in the attack on Monday, in that blast that took place in a car outside of the Red Fort, in which 9 people were killed and over 20 people were injured. In fact, many of those people very injured, extremely badly injured, in fact requiring plastic surgery as well, is what many have been saying. Remember, Delhi remains on high alert. There you can see the Prime Minister also meeting with some of the female victims of the blast that took place. Later today, the Prime Minister will be chairing a cabinet committee on security meeting at 5:30. That is what we know so far. In Bhutan as well, he was in touch with Home Minister Amit Shah to get to review all the developments in the probe into the Red Fort blast case, even as more and more people are being questioned, and this entire web of this white collar terror module is being exposed as investigating teams are in Jammu and Kashmir, in Gurgaon, in Faridabad, Delhi as well, in UP as well, where many of the people who were involved or possibly knew the people involved in this entire terror plot are being traced and tracked and questioned. So the Prime Minister there meeting with the victims, with those who were injured in the blast. Let's go across to Ishika now for more. Ishika, the Prime Minister, a short while ago met with the victims of the blast, Red Fort blast at the LNJP hospital. What are the details you can share with us? We have the first visuals, those still pictures up on our screens now.
Well, yes, Hari, as we can see in the visuals that the Prime Minister, right after arriving here in New Delhi, he directly came here to the NDTV hospital to meet here the victims and to speak to doctors as to, how the condition of those who are critical actually is. And as you can see, and our viewers can also see on the screen, that the Prime Minister is speaking to all of those who have been injured in this, in fact, very terrifying Lal Killa blast that happened. He is, in fact, he did try to, motivate to all of these, who are injured, and in fact, also to stop those who are currently critical by speaking to the doctors, going near that ward, see what kind of condition they are in. So this happened, in fact, just a while ago. We saw the Prime Minister going inside, and after, few minutes, is what we can say, around 10 minutes, the Prime Minister came to the hospital, and after that, he has, in fact, left currently from the LNJP hospital. The Prime Minister, you are certainly trying to motivate those who have been injured here. Over to you.
That's right, and there you can see the first visuals of the Prime Minister meeting with those who were injured, spending a fair amount of time at the LNJP hospital. On arriving from Bhutan, the Prime Minister had been on a 2-day official visit to Bhutan to attend an event to mark the Bhutan King's 70th birthday. But he had been in touch with Home Minister Amit Shah, and he said he'd been, reviewing all the probe into the Red Fort blast case and had been in touch with investigating agencies. In fact, when speaking in Bhutan, the Prime Minister had also said that he was there with a very heavy heart, considering the horrifying incident that took place. He also said that he was in touch with all the key agencies and officials, and that the agencies would get to the bottom of the conspiracy, that the perpetrators would not be spared. So the Prime Minister is going straight to LNJP after arriving from Bhutan. And Ishika, the Prime Minister also will later today, chair that cabinet committee on security, in which the extent of what probe agencies have uncovered so far will be, told to him in great detail. All right, we will try and go across to Ishika. But on your screens there, as you can see, the Prime Minister spent a fair amount of time interacting with those at the LNJP hospital who are still recovering from the blast that took place on Monday when a slow-moving car, there was a blast and 9 people were killed, over 20 people were injured, some with very gruesome injuries requiring plastic surgery, as well as you can see some with their hands injured as well. Let's go back to Ishika. Ishika, if you can tell us more about any details regarding the Prime Minister's interaction with those who were injured at the hospital.
Well, yes, Gargi. In fact, when the Prime Minister reached here, there are patients, in fact, 20 plus who were injured in this Lal Killa blast, and the Prime Minister went there and he met each one of them, and he definitely spoke to them as to what was the condition then, how are they feeling currently, and is all of that the doctors are looking after them, because remember what we got to know is that these are in fact patients who in fact have very severe burn injuries as well from that deadly blast. And not just that, Gargi, there are in fact patients currently who where in fact eardrums have also ruptured. They are also in fact their intestines have also been affected because of the Lal Killa blast. So the Prime Minister going inside in the LNJP hospital, he spoke to each one of them, tried to get to know as to what is their condition now. He also spoke to the doctors about those who have already in fact died. There were 9 as per the official number. And in fact, not just that, also he inquired about those who are in fact currently missing. Because remember, so far there are around 6 to 8 what we are getting to know who have been identified. So those bodies have been handed over. But about the rest, the Prime Minister inquired the doctors as to how much is the DNA sampling being done? Are those helpline numbers that were given? Are the people contacting on that? All of this the Prime Minister has inquired. He has spent a fair amount of time, as he said, with all of those who have injured, tried to motivate them. And, just a while ago, he has in fact now left from the LNJP hospital. Over to you.